Right, it's a massive week for Leeds in their bid for Premier League survival. They face Leicester tomorrow night. Our reporter Ben Ransom has just been speaking to Javi Gracia this afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Ben. They've been leaking goals for fun, haven't they? 3 defeats, conceding 13 goals along the way. I'm guessing he faced questions on their defence and their goalkeeping.
Yes, exactly that. It has been a pretty torrid return defensively. Only Bournemouth in the Premier League conceding more goals so far this season, and those huge home defeats have really not helped the mood around here. First Palace, then Liverpool, putting so many goals into them. But actually, it goes back even further than that. Javi Gracia got a clean sheet in his first game as manager, a win over Southampton. In the 8 games since, they've conceded 23 goals, no clean sheets in that time. They've find themselves 16th in the Premier League table now, a point above the relegation zone and a point above tomorrow night's opponents, Leicester City. So you'd imagine to give themselves a platform to have the fans on side at Ellen Road, they're going to have to start strongly, particularly defensively. They can't just give away as many goals as they have done in previous home matches. And Illan Meslier has become a talking point because of that game against Fulham at the weekend. His part in both of the Fulham goals in that loss at Craven Cottage, palming out 2 balls from across where critics, pundits have suggested he should have caught them, and obviously what happened afterwards was Fulham scored 2 goals and Leeds were not able to get anything out of the game. So understandably his position in the team has come and been called into question in some quarters. Javi Gracia, though, today wouldn't definitely give him his backing as his definitive number 1, but he certainly didn't say that he was planning to make a change ahead of a huge game tomorrow night.
He reacts well, as usual. He always trains well. He has a very good character, of course, always trying to improve, like the rest of the players. And in this case, it's not different. We are conceding a lot of goals in the last games, and it's something we need to do better. But in the last press conference, we spoke about that as well. It's not only about the keeper. It's something about the team. We need to defend better, and I think if we defend better, the keeper always will be better as well.
Yeah, they'll need their keeper to be better then. Look, Ben, as you mentioned, it is Leicester tomorrow night, and then, of course, Bournemouth, who are just above them, on Sunday. Do you think these results could define their season? What did Gracia say about that?
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about the importance of this week, in particular that game tomorrow night, first of all, because as a manager, Javi Gracia, I've spoken to him a few times here, it's always about the next game being the most important. That's all he's focusing on. He tries to leave the context of the season out of his answers. All they can do is control the controllables that stand right in front of them. Doesn't matter really about the Bournemouth game with the Leicester one ahead of it. But of course it does, because games are running out. And when we've just looked at the league table and their precarious position in that, and when you consider these 2 teams are one directly below them, one then directly above them, hugely important for Leeds they get results, and not just draws, positive results. You'd imagine really realistically they're going to have to win one of those 2 games at least, and maybe not lose the other, because it's about turning around this run of form. And it doesn't get any easier, because once they face Leicester and Bournemouth, then come Manchester City and Newcastle, 2 teams, one going for the treble and one going very much for the top 4 that's just absolutely put Tottenham to the sword at the weekend. So it gets very difficult. These games, you'd imagine, will be absolutely integral to Leeds staying in the Premier League. Remember, they were outside of the league for 16 years before they finally fought their way back a couple of seasons ago and then finished 9th. It was all celebration then. 2 consecutive relegation scraps have followed. So for Javi Gracia, although he won't look past Leicester City, I think he does know this is a hugely significant week in their season. This game particularly tomorrow, and then the game against Bournemouth, will these 2 games define your season?
Yeah, I think maybe I'll tell you only the next one, just the next one, because we prefer to be focused on the next. We know the next 3 points. We need the next 3 points, and we have to be focused on that. After this game, we'll speak about the next, but now we prefer to be really focused on the importance of the next game.
So Javi Gracia then looking ahead to the next game, but he's under huge pressure here. There's no doubt about that. A few weeks back, earlier in the season, he was asked by some of the reporters here whether he's sleeping much. He said he's getting 2 or 3 hours a night, not sleeping too much. He got the same question today, and he admitted that it's a similar story, the position, the pressure. He feels the same. He says he can sleep in June, and by then he'll be hoping he's led Leeds to Premier League survival.
Goodness me, a couple of hours a night, that's not good for anyone. Thank you for letting us know that, Ben.